Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Joe Figueroa with another video on our rare series Blink Breakdown, where I break down a single count of 8, something that is seemingly impossible or choreographed, but I'm going to show you how the confusing still breaks down the fundamental steps that most of you already do. This week's video is featuring Tze and Brenda Liu, two dancers I did a video on before, in a dance I did a video on before, but I saved this single count of 8 for this series. So please share, like, and subscribe. Click on the link in the description if you want to support the channel, but do it fast because we're starting right now. So last week I was approached by one of my students about this video with Tze. He mentioned that at the end I said you can expect to see a part 2, and it got me looking at it again, where I found this very quick movement that is just before one of the other movements I mentioned. It appears as a simple check to multiple spin, but there is much more happening here. Take a look. It starts with this multiple spin, a triple for Brenda, all led above her head, but the third ending on her shoulder line, creating a wrap type of feel for Brenda. Leads, look at how Tze uses his entire arm for the spinning, and at the end gives as much of his arm as possible. This gives Brenda the ability to come through the spins full circle. That's good leading. Follows, notice how Brenda's elbow is down. She doesn't raise it up assuming the third spin is going over her head. That's good following. What I'd like to point out is how Tze has his thumb pointed downward. Again, this is giving all of his arm to the follow. In addition, he's going to use this handhold to perform the next part. They're dancing on 2. When the spins are complete, Brenda back breaks on 6. The wrapped arm hold Tze has given makes that back break a tight hold, leaving few options for Brenda. Tze makes the preparation clear by back breaking on 6 himself. Here's where it gets cool. That back break, or hard break, implies a change in direction for Brenda, which is not uncommon in and of itself. A usual result would be a cumbia, or enchufe, for Brenda, but Tze employs the concept that the follows follow the hand. So after picking up her left with his right below, Tze guides his high hand, his left, her right, out in front of her, with a pressure so comprehensible that it makes Brenda pivot on her 7 step, her left, and step forward rather than back on her right, which is her 1, a type of press line if you will. Notice leads what I've spoken about in previous videos, the clear high and low lead. In addition, the lead provided in front and in back, and left and right side of Brenda, the surrounded feel. By the way, if you haven't tuned out yet, maybe you could subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a great deal. It's free to do, and you can always change your mind later. Back to it. Now typically in a check and spin scenario, the follow spins are clockwise and on the spot, but this is not typical, certainly not for the follow. The press line alone is distinctive. Tze's level of control is on full display. He makes the second half of the movement just as impressive by leading a double progressive turn for Brenda. Progressive meaning that she is turning clockwise but on the line. The turns travel. Brenda takes compact and syncopated steps for the counts of 2 and 3 and 4, pauses ever so slightly for the count of 5, and breaks back on 6 to begin the next count. I don't know if you leads out there have done the math on the handholds yet, but from this position only one clockwise spin or turn is able to be done comfortably without having to alter handhold. But Tze created a double. I know what you're thinking. Joe, you eagle-eyed preceptor, how could he do that? The quickest answer is a touch and go style progressive, but the touch and go is usually led from a handshake hold position, giving the lead the opportunity to create all the turns from one dominant hand, but with the illusion that both sets of hands are being repeatedly released and reconnected. You can see here that after the first turn, both dancers' arms are crossed and compromised. Lefts crossed over rights. In order to create a second spin or turn, Tze would have to let one of the handholds go. In a usual touch and go, we keep the right handhold and release the left, then reconnect with it, giving the dancers a handhold of left hands over right hands. Now again, this would be if you started off with right to right and left to left. Tze and Brenda are in regular handhold, his left to her right and right to her left. It's just out of the shot, but what Tze does is let both sets of hands go, while leading the second turn, one at a time, and reconnects with them, but connects resulting in rights to rights and lefts to lefts, like a normal touch and go. Look at how seamless. No break in her turning technique or his delivery. Very unorthodox and difficult to accomplish. That was only 5 seconds of this dance, a single movement that any of you can do. So before you go out dancing tonight or later this week, review this video. See if you can work it out yourself on the dance floor. That's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's been a few weeks since I posted anything, but give me a break. It's the summer. I'm trying to enjoy myself. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description. You can help me to give you what you want to see if you comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully very soon on the dance floor.